Well, we've arrived. Behind us, across 3 kilometers of pan, is Kokonje Island. And Kokonje Island is where we intend to get married. First baobab we're considering.
As ludicrous as it may seem, this remote island in the vast Kalahari was our planned location for a wedding. This is our story. Kokonje Island lies in the 16,000 square kilometre Kalahari Basin on Soa Pan, one of the largest salt flats in the world. Driving across the pan is treacherous, first made famous 17 years later by Top Gear.
Stretching before you is the Makadikadi. These are the biggest salt flats in the world. They're almost completely lifeless and as wide as Portugal. No car has ever driven across them.
We would have to cross part of Soa Pan to reach Kokonje.
We have one small thing to do before we get there, and that is to make sure that the pan won't swallow us up.
If you run out of water, you will die. If your car breaks down and you can't be rescued, you will die.
Actually following with another vehicle, very slowly, because this stuff, when it is wet, is totally impassable, and I don't actually feel like making fresh tracks, because then I have no way of gauging how solid the surface is or how wet the surface is. You know, there could easily be a patch in the middle of the pan that is wet, and if I drive into that wet patch, I'm not going to get out again.
Do we have everybody? We'll push it off.
We need 100 men or more. 3, 2, 1.
I'm not going to take any chances by going too fast and then suddenly find I'm in trouble. Alright, we've actually arrived now at the edge of the island.
We were lucky. The 2 other occasions to reach Kokonje, one in 1993 and again in 1997, I failed.
Dead ahead of us.
Thankfully, with the difficult bit behind us, it was time now to focus on a place to carry out a wedding ceremony.
Gorgeous one just wants to come and hug it, you know. So impossible. You see, love, not everybody's going to want to camp on top of each other, okay? Although we still want to have a bit of a lager of food. What we can do is you can put all the tents there. It'll be springtime, so there'll be more shade. And then they can have a magnificent view of the pans in the morning when they wake up, and we can use this to carry that. I mean, look at that. It's like an altar. Most incredible altar. These pods. From the baobab. I wonder if I can crush this open. See what's inside. There's some open ones here. Okay. Where will the sun be at that time of the year?
Well, it'll be further overhead.
It occurs to me that at the time our priority was where the shade would be, and not how we would get all our guests here.
We're here.
That's full sun. That's going to be full sun. Because if you can imagine, sun now is basically, it's going to be further overhead.
Looks like wild cotton.
Let's go and have a look at our honeymoon suite. Look at this. This is almost, our honeymoon suite looks as if we could fit in it, that's for sure. It looks like it's got a carving on it. Have a look at the... Far enough away?
From the rebel?
I think so.
We have a honeymoon suite. It's great. Maybe they'll be scared of lions, so they won't come and do terrible things
in the
to
middle
our...
of the night.
Yeah.
No, maybe I shouldn't do it. No. I had an idea, but I wouldn't draw on the tree, but I was thinking maybe have a tiny little thing made, a little white thing made, saying Andrew and GWYNN got married underneath this baobab, October 6, 1990, and we just pin it to there, somewhere up there. But I don't think, what do you think? I think it's a bit...
I don't think so. I don't know. Let me think about it. Because maybe it's defacing the tree.
That's why. I don't know.
Was it a realistic proposition to bring guests out to this remote place? We absolutely love it. But would they?
Early Monday morning, we spent the last 2 nights here, and we've decided that this is definitely the place that we're going to get married. We leave home now, and next find ourselves back here in October. What else do you want to say?
Sadly, the birth of 3 babies to close family and friends kiboshed that fabulous, if somewhat reckless and foolhardy plan. I can still recall one of the fathers asking incredulously if we'd lost our minds. Andrew and I had to withdraw to reconsider. All it would take would be for one person to get stuck in the mud to ruin the wedding. We scratched our heads to come up with another plan because we refused to relinquish the idea of being married in the bush. No sausage factory Saturday afternoon wedding at the local church was going to do. In the end, it was my brother Lewis who came to our rescue. He still offered us a bush wedding option, but much closer to home, a mere 3 hours. Close enough, but still remote enough to make it exciting enough for everyone to attend, which they did.
You've all shackled your kid, right?
Andrew and I arrived at GWYNN separately, and by 5 o'clock, everyone else had arrived too and were settled into their camps.
Well, we're here. We're at GWYNN. It's 6 o'clock, Friday evening, and the fun is about to begin.
Andrew's got it wrong because the fun began at about 3 o'clock this afternoon when everybody started to arrive and started pitching tents.
Yes, and we had more fun than they did because they were still packing up and we were here relaxing in the quiet.
You know, it's typical of these men. They always organise it to suit them.
Keep thinking about how you feel about when you first realised that you were in love.
You didn't have it going.
All my life I'd known that I could never be ordinary. So it was with bubbling excitement that I left my tent on that last morning as a single woman. I was more than ready to start a new adventure with Andrew, another person who could never settle for ordinary.
We are well. How did you sleep on your last night alone?
I don't like sleeping on my own anymore.
Morning.
Morning, campers.
Good morning.
I would like to lodge a formal complaint with the National Park Board about these birds. They're too noisy. Why am I turning around?
Don't mind that.
Not your rod. Are you tickling Sarah? Francis, tickle your tummy.
And I must say, I was very pleased to see the high spirits amongst my friends, my family, my father, my brother, and the chefs making the evening feast, which would simmer to perfection while we attended a wedding.
The two of you together will be a family, and later on I'm sure there's going to be a small addition here and there, but it's going to take your combined strength to lead and guide this family of yours. I now pronounce you, Andrew and Gwyneth, husband and wife, legally and lawfully, and as you are.
Oh, Josh, we better move out of the sunset.
Keep it.
Flash didn't go off, Simon.
Martin.
Yeah. Quiet.
The brothers and wives.
Brothers and wives, the whole family.
My wife and I.
I'll come and stand next to you. I can't miss the opportunity of standing next to my boy.
Because it's made it all worthwhile.
Oh yes.
Not one person who was invited didn't arrive.
And what time can we applaud outside your tent?
Tomorrow morning at about 10:30.
Hello. Dodging the birdies, the dogs and the people and the cows and especially the goats.
We've just arrived at Linyanti, but there doesn't appear to be a place to cross. The track is supposed to wind its way in around these reeds. So we're going to have a walk and see if we can find the track.
These massive horned beasts are Nguni cattle. To reach our intended destination of Lupala Island, we have no choice but to cross the river.
What do you think?
I think there's a good chance that we've come to the wrong place, but we have to find the right place.
Makes me think that maybe we should go back to the village and find the post office and go in exactly the opposite direction to the post office. Come on.
Then I noticed a man leading his cattle through the water. This should give us a good idea of how deep and how soft it might be.
Decided to go back to the main road to see if we can find another signpost to Sangwali, which we will then take, and hopefully that will lead us to the correct tracks.
I'm going to have to put in the wading clutch plug. I have to seal the bell housing because the water came up to that guy's shorts, which means it's about 2.5 feet, 2 feet deep, I suppose. So it's not too bad. The cows have just crossed that area, so I have no idea what the surface is like. We cannot find the directions written about in the book. The way they're written is not very good, so they're difficult to follow. It sounds like we were supposed to cross that point at that point, but I'm a bit worried. We're the only vehicle around and the ground is very, very soft. So we travelled up another about 10 kilometers and have taken another detour towards the south. Again, we've come up against the channel. We cannot find the camp that is also mentioned in the book, which is, if it is in this area, it's not signposted. But it's quite pleasant here anyway because we're listening to some fish eagles.
It was the shortcomings in the travel guide we were using that prompted us to eventually write the many travel books and memoirs that we've written together.
GWYNN. Right, white.
White.
Yeah.
I had to find out if it was safe enough for us to cross. No choice but to walk it.
No crocodiles here.
Pardon?
No crocodiles here.
I don't know, but there are. Let's die together.
Please don't die, either of you. Don't die, either of you. We met this chap along the road, and he was born in Sangwali. He's now the school teacher at another little town called Malengalenga, not far from here. And he's kindly offered to come and give us directions on how to get to Lupala.
Very far.
No.
Which way did you come? This
Came
way?
by Botswana, Nata, Kasane.
Yeah.
Katima.
Yeah. Today or yesterday?
Yesterday. 2 days now. It's the third day.
So?
where we're going to attempt to cross.
Great.
And a piece of Altaki until the last bit.
But I'm afraid there. Just a try. Think of God that they will be able to cross. Please.
Cheerio.
Take care, hey?
Okay. Bye-bye. Thanks you.
Bye.
As I expected, it was quite easy except for the last 20 meters, which was thick black mud. The vehicle didn't sink in too deeply, but we managed to do quite a bit of wheel spinning, but managed to get through. Luckily chose the right gear. I was in low range second. I was thinking about low range third. Thank God I wasn't, because I would not have got through in that gear. It would have been too high. We had a bit of water breaking over the bonnet occasionally. It looked a bit more like a speedboat than a Land Rover, but now it's getting exciting because we're sort of trailblazing. There's a very vague track in front of us, and it's very heavily wooded. Darien is getting scratched, but it's fine because I think we're going to be going somewhere very, very nice.
Here, it's the most beautiful place. It's like an Eden. We're the only people. We're the only people here. Surrounded by birds, cuckoos and pinto, widers, you name it. It's quite amazing. There were a group of lechwe up at the other end there when we arrived. They're now have grown so accustomed to us. They're down here at the back of our camp, and they're not worrying us and we're not worrying them. Andrew had a very successful afternoon fishing. He caught 2 fish, which we're going to catch again tomorrow for dinner. We're going to have some smoked chicken using our smoker that we got for a wedding present from Charles and Joy. In fact, this has been the most wonderful place. It's very difficult getting here. I wouldn't recommend the route to the faint-hearted. It's very isolated and it's very remote. And in that sense, it's scary because there are possibilities of elephant pushing their way into the camp tonight. But it's wonderful.
We had a very eventful night last night. We were woken up continuously through the night by animals. At about 4 o'clock in the morning we jumped into the car because there were hippo very close. There were lion very, very close. I didn't have the two lion answering each other very close. I didn't have the camera in the tent, otherwise I would have recorded it. This morning we were woken by a lot of elephant crossing the river on this side. They walked up across the bank and moved across to the east. At the moment now, directly due east, there are another herd of elephants. They've been pushing down trees all morning and having a party. They are literally all around us. They seem very calm. There's lions
more
somewhere.
calm than us.
We haven't seen the lion, but it's very, very exciting. The only unfortunate thing is it might rain, which will mean driving out of here near impossible. So hoping it doesn't rain.
Look at all those elephants, a whole lot coming up. Have a look at the diamond.
Saturday morning on Lupala Island. It's just a little after 6:30 in the morning, and the very magic part of the day. Animals are beginning to stir. The red lechery have come back around the camp and are dotted almost all around our camp. I can hear some elephants over there, where yesterday morning a herd of elephants moved across towards the south and crossed the river. It's 400 degrees in the sun, which makes it 300 degrees in the shade, which is very hot. Hey, Popsy.
Yeah.
It's very, very hot. I think I'm going to go for a quick swim because I need cooling down.
Didn't you see a crocodile in the water a couple of days ago?
Oh, that way. I don't think there are any crocodiles here. Because we've been here for 3 days and I think I would have seen them by now. And our
shade is getting shorter and smaller. And the fridge isn't working very well, so the beers are not very cold. I don't know why the fridge isn't working very well. It works better off the car battery than it does on gas, but if we run it off the car battery, it'll be flat within 10 hours. Come quickly, love. Quickly in and out.